Hey guys, welcome to this next YouTube video. So I've got an interesting topic that we're going to discuss today, as you can see here. I'm going to dive into it right now. Hope you enjoy the video. So you're probably wondering, Jude, what the hell have you got going on here? And this is going to be us talking about ball position. You may have seen probably in the title of the video or in the thumbnail as a little hint, but this is going to be about ball position. Okay, and I'm going to talk about what happens if you have your ball position too far forward. Okay, it's really important that we have our ball position correct, as it really determines angle of attack, so launch, and then our path and our start line. So it's really important. It's probably one of the most important fundamentals of a good setup. The correct ball position is the lead edge of the putter should be in the middle of the stance. So the lead edge should be more on this line. You can see there that pink stick is now in the center of my stance. That is the correct ball position. We're going to talk about if we get someone who has their ball position over here too far forward. So you can see there I'm a good 2 balls forward. Okay, so you can see there already where that orange stick's pointing more closer towards the lead side of my foot. Whenever the ball position gets too far forward, then we're going to start to see some weaknesses and tendencies creep into our putting stroke. Players that tend to have their ball too far forward in their stance tend to pull their putts. Reason for that is with the natural arc, when we come to the center of our stance, that's going to mean that our face is square. When we start to creep further forward, that face is then closing down because the actual arc that the putter works on is going to mean that when we get here, we're going to be square. When we start to work ahead of that center of our stance, then that face is going to start to close down. So, as you can see here, if I'm going to have a neutral club face at this point, by the time I get to the ball here, that face is actually going to be closed down, which is going to cause that ball to start left. As because when that ball gets too far forward on the arc, that face is shutting down, and then that's going to cause the pull. Not only that, where that ball gets too far forward, we're then going to be more attracted to feel like we're swiping across the ball because we're going to have to reach for it because it's, again, too far forward on the arc. So that can cause an out to in path. Because that ball gets too far forward and we get out here, we then are in a much more sort of able position to extend the putter too far on the outside and then work more into our left foot. That's going to be more of the bias. When the ball gets too far forward, we're going to be persuaded to work on more of an out to in path. Another sort of backup of evidence for that is, again, as you can see here, when I move my putter more in line with the ball that's too far forward, my shoulders then close off. Okay, so then they're actually opening up to the target, which means that they're going to be pointing left. If my shoulders are naturally pointing left of the target, I'm generally going to swing across the line of my shoulders, which is again going to cause that out to in path. That's another reason why it's important that we have that ball position more down the center, so then it sets our shoulders centered. And that's going to allow us to swing on a much more neutral path, which again is going to keep the face more square. When we reach over here, that turns our shoulders left. That's going to cause the face to close down into impact. Another thing that can happen if that ball gets too far forward is, again, if we're here and we're actually set fairly neutral, when we're actually coming into impact, we could be persuaded to actually launch the ball more in the air because, again, our arc's going to be working down at the lowest point at the center of our stance. From the center of our stance to the lead side of our foot forward, that arc's going to be working back up. So the lowest point's going to be here, which means we're going to be working on the up more into that ball that's too far forward, which is going to be causing us to hit the ball on a positive angle of attack. That then will send the ball too high straight after impact, which is then going to cause it to bounce. So we always want to be launching it around about 2 degrees. But if that ball is, again, too far forward, we're then going to be launching it up by maybe 4 or 5 degrees, which is way too much, as that's going to send the ball straight in the air. Again, cause it to bounce and not get it rolling smoothly as early as possible. So as you can see there, there's many negatives to having that ball too far forward in the stance. I've just reeled out about 3 or 4 there, and all them things are going to be affecting the launch of the ball and the start line. Just by moving the ball back by 2 balls, getting it more in the center of our stance, is going to neutralize everything out, going to make our path straighter, going to make our launch better, and overall is going to make us a more consistent putter. So next time you're on the practice green, maybe lay down a club or an alignment stick, get that ball just ahead of the alignment stick, make sure that you line up the leading edge of your putter right in line with that alignment stick or club, and then make sure that it points right in the center of your stance. And there's an equal distance between both feet and stick. That's then going to ensure that the leading edge of the putter is more in the middle of the stance and that ball is just in front. Again, that's going to allow for that optimal face and launch condition. That's a nice simple drill there for you to try, just to dial in that ball position. Like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.